Hi, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Annie, and today we're going to be talking about fall books. I'm very red today, and I have my Coke to match. As I'm sure it is for a lot of people, fall is my favorite season for reading. Well, it's my favorite season in general, but I think for reading there's this special thing about reading during fall. And in this video, I decided to give a little fall TBR of books that I'd like to read this fall, and then also talk about some books that I would recommend to read in the fall or autumn, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to keep my TBR short and this video relatively short, so I picked 5 for each category. And then I also picked books that are not so much spooky, because I think I'll make a horror TBR slash recommendations video closer to Halloween time. So in this video, I just want to talk about books that are kind of like cozy without being super scary. There is like one that maybe is more so spooky, but I haven't read it. It's on the TBR, so who knows. Also, since I'm only recommending 5 things, I decided I would keep my recommendations kind of niche. I don't know that I'm recommending anything super obscure, but I wanted to go with things that you might not have heard of. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So we'll start with the TBR, and the first book I have is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I believe I first heard about this last fall, although I'm not sure when it came out. It seems kind of recent, but I know a lot of people really loved it, and I don't have the best track record with cozy romances or just cozy books kind of in general, which is unfortunate because it's a genre I would really love to like. I did a video last year where I read some cozy books and I hated, I think, all of them, but I have unreasonably high hopes for Rewitched just because of all the good things I've heard about it. So this book is about a witch that works at a bookstore, and she's kind of burnt out. She is kind of run ragged between working at this bookstore with her boss that's kind of toxic and concealing her magic from other people around her, and it's just gotten a bit exhausting. So she hasn't been very in touch with her magic lately, and this kind of changes on her 30th birthday when she has to do a trial of some sort for witchy purposes. I don't know too much about this book. I know that there is a romance in it. I know that one of the main settings is a bookstore, which obviously I'm gonna be obsessed with. I know that I love the cover because it's so cute. I think that there's a guy that is set to guard her because I think she's in some sort of danger. Like something happens. There's some sort of plot. let me look at the summary. The main character's name is Belladonna Blackthorn. Cool. And yes, so she's stressed. She's running around. I'm just gonna read the last bit of this. But when her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle risks losing her magic forever. With the month of October to fix things and signs that dark forces may be working against her, Belle will need all the help she can get, from the women in her life, from an unlikely mentor figure, and even an infuriatingly handsome watchman who's sworn to protect her. Like, that sounds cute. I don't know. And I also love the whole bodyguard romance type thing. It's cute. I like it. So I am excited about it. I have a hold on it on Libby for the audiobook, and I'm hoping to get to it soon. Next on my TBR is A Murderous Relation. This is the 5th book in the Veronica Speedwell series by Deanna Raybourn. I am obsessed with this series. It is set in Victorian England, and it follows a woman named Veronica Speedwell. She's a lepidopterist, which means that she collects and studies butterflies, like for scientific purposes. And essentially the series follows her and her kind of partner in crime, Stoker, who is a natural historian, as they solve various crimes. It's kind of like one mystery per novel type of series, and I am shocked at how little I've been reading this series because I love it so much. Like, I only read one book in this series last year and I have yet to read one this year. And this next one looks so good. I know that this one takes place during the time of Jack the Ripper, and it also involves a serial killer. So this one's looking a little spooky and I really like the cover. But I just can't wait to get to the next book in this series. Like, I'm obsessed with it and they're always perfect for fall. So, Murderous Relation. The next book on my TBR is Don't Let the Forest In by C.J. Drews. This book, can we just admire like the cover art and the back cover art? Is it cool on the inside? No, it's white. This looks fabulous and I've heard nothing but good things. And I think it does seem like it would be perfect for fall. It seems kind of, let's see, what is this person saying? Beautiful, horrific, perfect for any reader who has looked into the sharp mouths of disturbing fairy tales and found themselves entirely at home. So this is the one that I mentioned before that might be like a little bit spooky. From what I understand, this is about two boys at this boarding school, and one of them like draws all these little creepy monster things, and the other one is a writer. And they're like really good friends and maybe more. Some like spooky, mysterious things start happening. And then one day the boy that writes follows the boy that draws into the woods and sees him fighting the monsters that he's drawn, and they've come to life. That's what I know about this. It seems amazing. I kind of don't want to know more. I just heard the best things about this. This is a YA queer romance, dark academia type of thing, and I just think it looks perfect for autumn, and I'm literally so obsessed with it. So I bought it and I can't wait to read it. The next book on my TBR is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I don't know how I haven't read this yet. It's kind of embarrassing. I have a whole English degree and I've never read Frankenstein. This is my sister's copy she gave to me. I've never seen this cover anywhere else. But it's cool, I guess. But I mean, do I even have to tell you what Frankenstein is? Like, it's about this guy called Frankenstein, and he makes this monster, and the monster, I don't know, because I haven't read it. So I have been wanting to read this forever. I feel like fall is a great time to read classics. Like, I think it's just the perfect season for it. So I can't wait to read this. And obviously this is like a gothic novel. Gothic and fall, hand in hand, they're tight like that. So must read Frankenstein. I think I'm gonna do a vlog where I read this TBR. Don't quote me on that, but I that's the plan. The final book on my TBR is In the Company of Witches by Orly Wallace. I'm going to read the Goodreads summary for this one just because I think it'll be a bit easier than me trying to explain it when I don't really know what it's about. For 400 years, the Warren witches have used their magic to quietly help the citizens of the sleepy New England town of Evenfall thrive. There's never been a problem they couldn't handle. But then Constance Graves, a local known for being argumentative and demanding, dies while staying at the B&B Bryn Warren maintains with her aunts. At first, it seems like an accident, but it soon becomes clear that there's something more sinister at work, and Aunt Nora is shaping up to be the prime suspect. There's nothing Bryn wants more than to prove Nora's innocence, and it hurts her to know that even 2 years ago that might have been easier. Bryn, after all, is a witch of the dead, a witch who can commune with ghosts. Ghosts can never remember much about their deaths, but Constance might remember something about her life that would help crack the case. But Bryn hasn't used her power since her husband died, and he's even sure she still can. Bryn will just have to hope that her aunt's magic and her own investigative skills will lead her to answers and maybe back to the gift she once thought herself ready to give up forever. Like, doesn't that sound so good? I think I heard about this kind of randomly. Oh, God. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. I think I heard about this kind of randomly in a YouTube video I watched maybe a year or two ago that was for fall recommendations, and I really, really want to read it. So I think I am going to be doing that reading vlog. Yes, I am. And I'm very excited to finally get to it. Now on to the recommendations portion of the video. The first book I'm going to be recommending is Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This book is fall. Like, it's so atmospheric. I Loved the audiobook, by the way. I listened to this on audio during fall in the UK like 2 years ago, and it was incredible. I just had the best time. Basically, this is about this girl that runs her family's spell shop, or maybe it's a magical tea shop. It's one of the two. But she lives in this small town that's like very magical. This whole town kind of runs on magic, but this year the magic is starting to go a little bit haywire. Like things are just kind of slightly off around the town. And then someone from our main character's past comes into the town. He's her first love, but he's also the suspected murderer of her best friend. So naturally she has very complicated feelings about him coming back to town. His return kind of stirs up again the mystery around her best friend's death and the kind of concurrent mystery about the magic going haywire around the island. It's really good. It's very atmospheric. I loved the characters. I just can't think of a more kind of perfectly cozy book to read curled up inside while it's raining outside. Like, it's fabulous, and I really loved it. So that is my first recommendation. The next book I wanted to recommend is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This is a YA cozy fantasy book. It has a really special place in my heart. I just don't think I'll ever forget about this book. So basically this follows Elizabeth, who lives in this world where everyone is told that sorcerers are evil. She lives in a library where she's kind of grown up her whole life because she's an orphan. And she takes care of these grimoires, which, you know, if you know what a grimoire is, usually it's like a magical kind of spell book for witches. But these grimoires are more like, if you imagine that book in Harry Potter that was like the Beast book that Hagrid assigns the kids, but it like bites you and stuff. That's kind of what these grimoires are like. They come to life, they have kind of minds of their own, and some of them can be quite dangerous. And one day someone sabotages the library and one of the most dangerous grimoires escapes, and Elizabeth is blamed for this. She ends up teaming up with a sorcerer who, of course, everyone told her sorcerers are evil, but she ends up teaming up with him and his weird little assistant to try to prove her innocence and defeat the grimoire that has been unleashed. I don't know that this book is like overtly set in the fall, I cannot remember, but there's a certain coziness and like low stakes vibe to this book that I think makes it kind of perfect for this season. While the grimoire that's escaped is dangerous, like nothing really feels too life or death in this book, and the characters are amazing. There's this beautiful found family aspect to it. There is our main character who obviously has a big love of books, and I just can't recommend it enough. There's also a really cute novella that was released a couple years ago set during Christmas time. If you want to read that after you read this, I would highly recommend. It's very cute. And then maybe you could read that one in the winter after you read this in the fall. Cute. The next book I have to recommend is a classic. It's Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's set in this town called Cranford where there's kind of just all these old ladies that live there. There's like barely any men, and they don't really want men there, and they have all these specific little rules about the way that the town should work. There's like all these social kind of norms, like it's like they're their own society. There's like weird rules, so it's like, you know, no social calls after 9 p.m. Everyone has to be asleep by this time. There's a lot of scenes of just kind of like women chatting, people knitting, people like gossiping, and it's kind of one of those books that like it doesn't really have a plot. Like it kind of just goes around and stuff, and it's a little bit like episodic, but it is so beautiful. It's like the town is cozy, the women are hilarious and very caring towards one another. There's a big message in the book kind of about taking joy in the small things, finding joy in the simple things, the day-to-day conversations, in like cooking a simple meal and sharing it with people. It's just really sweet. The book kind of reminds me of Gilmore Girls in the sense that it's like a town with lots of quirky characters, and it just gives me the same feeling. So I would highly recommend that one. Okay, the next book I have to recommend is another YA. I actually kind of have a lot of YA in this video, or more than usual, and that is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I love this book and this series actually, but I don't know if I've ever finished it, but I always think about it. This is the first book in a mystery series that takes place on this like New England private school campus. It's very like, you know, crunchy leaves on the ground and brick buildings with like columns in the front and kind of stormy skies and riddles and like board games vibes. I just kind of chucked out a bunch of words, but that is what I think of when I think of this book. Basically, this book is set at an academy called Ellingham Academy, which was created by this guy, Ellingham. He had very particular tastes. He was like very, very mega rich, but he really appreciated people who were very smart in their own kind of niche subject. So that's kind of who he lets into the school. Geniuses in whatever it is that they do, whether that is something academic or not. He also was a big fan of like learning and riddles and games. The book kind of follows two timelines. One is way back in time when Ellingham and his family are murdered on the premises of the school. And then we go to the present day and we follow our main detective queen, Stevie Bell, who was admitted to the school because of her passion for solving crimes. And she makes her mission to solve the now kind of defunct crime of Ellingham Academy. She wants to figure it out. She was already wanting to solve this crime when she comes to the school, but what really adds some urgency to this is the fact that fellow students are beginning to get murdered, and left at the scene of the crimes are these riddles that are in the same format as the riddle that was left beside the body of Mr. Ellingham. This book and this series are so fun. They're super easy to read, but the mysteries are really complex and engaging. The atmosphere is incredible. The whole cast of characters is very fun and likable, and I just like, it's kind of like, what more could you want? I do think it's quite similar to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder now that I'm kind of describing the premise. And I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder too. I would also highly suggest that series, but this is just great. There's also lots of queer rep in this, like a big kind of culture of acceptance at this school, and it's beautiful. I don't know that I love the cover, but would highly recommend. And finally, I'm kind of second guessing this one because I did talk about the same series earlier, but that would be the Veronica Speedwell series. Please read it. It's the best. This is the first book, Curious Beginning. I've already talked about what they're about, but honestly, every single one of these is perfect for the fall season. It's like a cozy mystery with beautiful, beautiful slow burn romance. I don't think I mentioned that. Great atmosphere, you know, it's set in Victorian England. I just think that these books, they do suit all year round, but there is something special about reading them during autumn. So that is going to be all my recommendations and my TBR for this fall. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe got some new things to add to your own TBR. Please let me know if you've read any of these books and how you liked them, especially the ones on my TBR. I want to know. Ooh. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know any books that are on your fall TBR or any books that you tend to return to kind of every year. I would just love to know. If you've watched to this point in the video, leave a leaf, like a fall leaf for the season. Give this video a like if you liked it, and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more from me in the future. I hope you're doing well and having a good day, no matter what time of day it is, no matter where you are. And I will see you in the next video, hopefully coming soon. Bye.